Hello again, YouTube. Lovell Hawes, prior enlisted Marine, military history buff, and overall just somebody who does a lot of research, and in this case just happens to observe a few things. This is going to be a combination of calls bull and an ask why video. So I'm going to ask why first. Why is the affidavit that was used to raid Mar-a-Lago more redacted than the documents they showed a picture of? If these documents, these top secret documents, were so damaging, why did they show them in a picture to the national news? I just happened to see it on the CBS Evening News tonight. And tonight happens to be Wednesday before Labor Day this in 2022. So if that's the case, wouldn't they have redacted anything damaging from those documents instead of just having them sprawled all over the place? Take a picture of it, and here you go to the news organizations. Something about that just doesn't seem right. Why would the affidavit that it took to secure the warrant to do that search in the first place be more redacted than the actual documents that are supposed to be damaging to the country? I happen to think that Donald Trump may be onto something about how they are being very deceitful about this. Because if they were truly that damaging, then wouldn't they have not taken a picture of the evidence and handed it to the national news, where, of course, it's going to be plastered all over the place? If those documents were truly damaging to the country, then wouldn't those documents being released to the news be as damaging, if not more damaging, than anything Donald Trump could do? Yeah, it's like, even if Donald Trump was to say, sell them to Russia, you take a picture of them, now you're giving them to everybody. China, Iran, North Korea, anybody who happens to be able to see our national news could look into that and go, huh, okay. So this is where I go into where I'm calling bull. I believe those documents were marked as declassified by the Trump administration while he was still in office. He, as the president, has the authority to do this. So therefore, that tells me that all of those documents weren't really top secret. They were just still marked that way because that's how they were when they were printed out before they were declassified. Therefore, the FBI had to have known that those documents were there, had to have known they were declassified, secured an affidavit to find those documents and take a picture of it. Either that or the FBI has committed espionage on a level that Donald Trump never would have been able to do. It would have made Hillary Clinton and her email scandal, which, by the way, I counted 4 counts of espionage confirmed. And here it is, one for each one of those documents, as shown in that picture. It's either the FBI committed espionage on a much larger scale, or they're lying about it. Now, let's go to Occam's razor. 2 seemingly identically plausible theories. The one that has the least number of assumptions is most likely the truth. You're telling me that the FBI had an affidavit and it had to redact the information in order to protect their sources, then found in a safe that they broke and that these documents were there, and then in a case of sheer incompetence took a picture of it and then decided to show it to the national news and their boss signed off on it? That's 6 assumptions right there. Or Donald Trump declassified those documents. The FBI knew they were marked as top secret. They got the affidavit and they don't want to tell you how. And then they showed the picture, took that picture knowing that there was no harm to showing it. Oh, using Occam's razor. That's 6 assumptions versus 5. It's a little close, a little hard to tell, but I'm going to go with 5 because it's at least less number of assumptions involved in the hypothesis here. That the FBI knew that these documents were not actually classified, that they're trying to show it because they don't want him to be their boss again. Now, that being said, I do have a suggestion that will either stop the continuous witch hunt against Donald Trump or will actually find the real criminals in our political elite. We're going to play a game of equal justice under the law. Either you drop the investigation of Donald Trump, or in the process, we'll be investigating Hillary Rotten Clinton, Pelosi and her family, and Biden and his family. Hunter alone will go to prison just for the drug use alone, not counting anything else that happens. I mean, we still pretty much know who the big guy was when it comes to the 10% for the big guy. And we also know that Pelosi has been conducting insider trading through her husband, of course. And again, I already mentioned 4 confirmed cases of espionage. So, let's see which one they want. Do they want to drop their witch hunt and make it so that way the political elites they like can roam free? Or do they want to continue the investigation of Donald Trump and get those other 3 people investigated all at the same time? And while we're at it, let's see if we can figure out a few other things. It'd be rather nice to know who was on Epstein's list, for example. I mean, one man can't know all of that. I mean, somebody else might get to know it. I mean, that's a little big. And I know in this case it's coming across as a bit of a tirade. I mean, I know I'm ranting a little bit about this one. But at the same time, it's like, come on, folks. It's like you're going to go after a former president for documents that he very likely declassified, when you weren't going to go after a Secretary of State who had 4 confirmed violations of the Espionage Act, the 1 server and the 3 emails on the said server. Come on. Nothing quite says I'm in the throwing in the ring for one side or another when the FBI is supposed to be completely nonpartisan. My, what a difference only about 6 years makes. Hillary Clinton was getting off the hook for 4 counts of espionage 6 years ago. Donald Trump, who arguably could have declassified every single one of those documents, and I believe my theory surrounding Occam's razor holds true, 5 assumptions versus the 6, says that he declassified them and the FBI knew who they were and they were just trying to find a way to keep him from running again. Where he had the authority to claim executive privilege and that he had the authority while in office to declassify quite a few of these documents. So, okay, either you're going to go after Donald Trump for violations of the Espionage Act and Hillary Clinton, or you go after neither one of them. So, feel free to tell me which way you would prefer it. Honestly, I prefer equal justice under the law regardless. If you're not going to go after one, then you don't go after the other. If you're going to go after one, go after the other. There you go. And that being said, it just seems like a lot of these people want the rules to apply to somebody else other than them. Hunter Biden has been known to be on drugs, has been known to, without any reason at all, to be on the board of some of these companies, Burisma being one of them. And he's been known to say in his own messages 10% for the big guy. Considering Joe Biden's license plate says big guy, At least it's been known to say that. I wonder who that could be. So, for some things for us to think about, it also couples with how, I don't know if you've noticed, a lot of Republicans were saying defend the police, not defund the police. And now Joe Biden is trying to say, oh, we've always been in favor of funding the police. They're pissing on us without even calling it, even as the courtesy of calling it rain. And they are saying, it's like, do they think we have the attention span of a frickin' earthworm? I know I'm ranting on this one. I know I'm having my little tirade. I know I'm standing on my soapbox and I might as well be yelling at clouds. But I hope everybody who sees this video really thinks about it and goes and thinks about what this actually means. And that being said, I've been Lovell, you've been awesome, and I hope everybody who sees this has a great day.